All right, it is currently 12:51 p.m. Documentation, first of all, of kidnapping, and this is relevant to a federal RICO case against the corporation Starbucks, who engaged in what is criminal summoning based on real-time documentation that the entity is keeping under surveillance, and then engaging what I documented, which is the Ocean, who's the manager at the third-party facilitating venue, Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue, where the entity is keeping the fake sun over that Starbucks at the same time, where I'm capturing it right here. And this is off of this is West Valley Detention Center. First of all, this is the fake sun right over me, and this is the entity that is engaging in gang stalking, recognized by the supernatural environment. This is not over Tracy Banks's apartment, where San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department is gang stalking by going to unit number 48, while the fake sun is remaining over me. This is not over 333 North Euclid Avenue, the U.S. Bank, where the Ontario Police Department is gang stalking at 12:51 p.m. while UPS is stalking in the path with flashing light activity. While I'm coming from Starbucks, where the entity keeps that fake sun when I remain at that venue from sunrise until sunset as well. And as I've been documenting gang stalking, criminal monitoring by the City of Ontario, the State of California, with that third-party venue, and the third-party Ocean is engaging in what is criminal summoning, and this is with the intent to obstruct justice, and recognizing when the entity engages in kidnapping, which is what L. Edwards and Escobar engaged in, the entity arrives with substantial police activity presence as well. This is what the entity has historically engaged in every time they kidnap me, and they're engaging what is kidnapping pursuant to making up charges, making up an offense, and the entity will engage in very heavy presence when I am the least violent. This is again demonic, and it's the entity. Actually, these are demons that are engaged in a celebratory, and they're all monitoring as well while they engage in these kidnappings. But I just want to be clear: the entity has heavy presence at the Starbucks, where Ocean, Patty, Amelia, the 8UQJ918, the third party gang stalking that male with the gray Kia K5, Brian, are engaged in criminal summoning and kidnapping together, and they're doing so in the specific environment that fills the Starbucks, where again these demons of the Ontario Police that are heavily documented targeting me at Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue, sharing no sky space, where the sun's not going to be over me at a West Valley Detention Center at the same time. And I want you to, in the images you'll see before I capture this video, you'll see the state flying over my head in a commercial plane as well. This is Shannon DICUS'S identification of his engagement in criminal monitoring, which is relevant to kidnapping. Okay, the entity is literally kidnapping with inmates, kidnapping with the San Bernardino County demons that are engaging in what is criminal defamation, the so-called behavioral health personnel, the people of the state that are present at the venue. This is the pattern of conduct while the fake sun is remaining over me at one of the state facilitating venues, which is West Valley Detention Center. This is off of ETIWANDA and San Bernardino Avenue, and the entity is engaging. It's relevant to the federal RICO case. It's relevant to the damning evidence that I'm capturing, and the entity is engaging in what is harassment and then kidnapping. When I ask Ocean why it is that she opted to call the police to ask me to buy food rather than asking me whether I would buy food at the Starbucks this morning, which is what they're typically doing, using the police as a means of threatening and also having me removed from the venue, which the entity is very fearful of because of the level of my documentation about gang stalking at that venue. That's an unlawful act of obstruction, which the people of the state are always engaging in. This is exactly what Tracy Banks engaged in on May 29th, 2025. Okay, it is currently 12:55 p.m. And this is the entity keeping the fake sun nowhere near 507 North Euclid Avenue. And the entity is clearly and blatantly engaging in that because they just want me to be removed from documenting them even any further. But they have already proven to be engaging in the pattern of conduct of criminal surveillance. And this was a clear additional act of obstruction, which is also relevant to an admission to gang stalking me. Okay, the ongoing inexplicable targeting method of calling the police as opposed to just asking me. And this has been through the police that are maintaining an inconsistent narrative about what they were told and why they were there, why they were even necessary to be there. And this is the entity doing so. Remember the arrest in the video that I'm capturing, it's gang stalking with the Ontario Police in that specific environment. And everything that was stated, even as I'm documenting, asking Ocean questions about why she would have the police called and ask me to leave the venue after I have not further to her knowledge, engaged in any more recording, like she stated, under the fake sun with the Ontario Police. That is all documentation of federal group stalking and monitoring, engaging in what is harassment, engaging in what is intimidation, threatening conduct while the police are monitoring as well, and then engaging in what is kidnapping. That was all the P.O.C. while that kidnapping was underway. Okay, it is currently 12:57 p.m. This is the entity engaging in monitoring, and it's not different from what's happening at Woodside Senior Apartments. All right, it's not different from what's happening at Starbucks, where the entity is maintaining the elements of monitoring under the fake sun. And it is not better. It's incriminating that Shannon DICUS'S state facilitating venue is a part of that pattern of conduct, which is what I've already testified to in my documentation, that the entity kept the fake sun all day long and engineer light all day long every time I was kidnapped at this venue and at every other venue, Central Detention Center, Glen Helen Rehabilitation Center, keeping fake suns over Shannon DICUS'S facilitating venue, where he is engaged in targeting and criminal defamation pursuant to a fake conservatorship that Tracy Banks and the state conspired to use to steal property from me. All right, and that's relevant context regarding San Bernardino County's ongoing criminal efforts to defame, which I've also published in all of the kidnappings that they've engaged in. That's the relevant context: the secret conservatorship, the fraudulent marriage, and exactly what I stated, the fake sun that remained over me inside of the venue where the entity engaged in kidnapping. 9 TXG 715. This is P.O.C. at West Valley Detention Center. This is P.O.C. Let me see. Let me show you that.